ZV1 guy. What's up? Not much. Hey, how's that 16 gig working out for you? It's fine, thanks. Hey, what you got there? Oh, this? It's a Fimi Palm. Dude, I ain't feeling none of that. I ain't feeling no palm, your palm or nothing. Nope. No, it's a Fimi Palm. It's a camera. It's actually the Fimi Palm 2. Dude, you ain't feeling my Palm 2, all right? It's a gimbal camera called the Fimi Palm 2. I don't get it, bro. Fimi Palm, it's a camera. Dude, that's a strange name, all right? No, not if you say it right. Forget it. Hey, that looks like the DJI Pocker you had before, that you sold, you did a review on, all that stuff. Yes, it does, but it's cheaper. It's cheaper. Set you back. It's 220 bucks on Amazon, roughly. What? No, DJI is like $100 more. What are you gonna do with it? I'm gonna compare it against the GoPro Hero 9. Oh, the Hero 9. All right. Why, yes. Actually, I would like you to look at the footage and tell me what you think about it. And you could actually help me out for once. Oh, you want my help, Hunter Boy? Yes. Hunter Boy? Yeah, nice jacket. Maybe you can fill my palm in it. You're an idiot. I'm an idiot? You're the one that bought the camera. So first things first, what comes with the package? Now got it through Peer Gear. So they gave you an extra cloth and a strap that screws into the bottom of the camera, which is good to have if you want to travel with it. That's a nice touch from them. But in the box itself, pretty much this is what you get. The box is pretty small, out of the way. And it comes with this case here with a USB-C, very small cord. We'll put that away. So the box, let's talk about this case here. When I first saw it, I liked it. Very compact, not much to it. It has a good little feel to it. And it goes right inside like that. So very easy to handle. Put it in your pocket, put it in your pants, coat, whatever. Now, when it comes to getting inside the case, it's a little bit problematic at times. It's just because you would think you need to be pretty delicate with the gimbal itself, but it just makes you kind of like force you to place it in there. That's the case. I do like it. I just wish it was maybe a little more protection for the gimbal itself, which actually makes me not treat this so baby-like. Like I don't have to like worry about putting this down, because every time you turn it on, it's going to basically calibrate the gimbal itself. But I would always have a case like this with you. I wouldn't put it in your pocket without a case. So that's what comes with it. Let's dive into the functionality of this camera. I'll go ahead and turn it on. Now, if you want to just watch the footage, you can skip ahead. Okay, so first things first, you have your button here that functions more for the use of the gimbal to move the gimbal around, but it also works in the menu system, and we'll get into that shortly. Upper left-hand corner, where it shows you your frame rate of what you're filming in. You click that, and this is where you'll get into your main setup. First is your output, which is going to be your 4K 30, 24. Now 4K 30 is the highest it goes. It does not do 4K 60 if you're looking for that. If you want to do a 60, you're going to have to go down to 2.7K to get that for slow motion. 30 and then 24. I wouldn't go too much lower than these. I wouldn't use 1080p. I mean, if you got 4K, you're going to use 4K or 2.7K. I use 4K 24 in most of my footage and a little bit of the 60 in case I want to slow it down. Next up is HDR, on or off. You can play around with that and see what you like. I have some footage of both, so you can tell me your opinion on that. You have picture quality, fine or super fine. I suggest leaving it on fine. Super fine is a little too over sharpened. Color, natural, F-Log. F-Log is like Cine in DJI products, where it kind of flattens everything out so you can change the color later in post. And bright is more of your pop with your saturation. Not as quite as high as GoPro, but it gets there. Mic is next. So you have high, low, mute if you want to shut it off. Mic, you have your high and your low volume levels that you need to play around with depending on the type of mic you use. So denoise is your noise cancellation, on or off. I tend to leave that off. And that is all from that side. So when you see a line right there, that's where you need to swipe to get out of it. And now we're back to the main screen. We're going to go in the bottom right hand corner now. And this is going to pretty much let you manipulate the ISO. And from here you need to swipe. So you're swiping from the right to the left. So first off is shutter speed, ISO, and then white balance. And then it goes back again, it keeps shuffling through. If you move this around and I change it, the auto is now highlighted, which means it's not in auto. If you want it in auto, it needs to be grayed out. To get back where you were, just toggle back and forth with these things. Next up, let me show you this little icon up here, which looks like where you can move the gimbal. If you select that, you can then change the EV. So I like to keep the EV around -1 on this camera, or maybe even lower, -3. I figure that the brighter it is, the more you can see some of the graininess. So we'll get out of that, toggle out of that. All right, some of the other physical buttons, of course, you got your record button and your power button. So if you hold it down, it turns the power off. Hold it back on, recalibrates the gimbal and turns back on. If you hit this 3 times, it will flip it around for selfie mode, and you can adjust the gimbal here to get it positioned correctly. You hit it again, it goes back to where it was. Now you can also use, see that picture of a camera right there? You just tap that, and that will also do the same thing. So that's kind of handy. On the side, nothing on this side. You have your SD card slot here, and on the back is the microphone input and a place to put the strap. If you have a different strap, the one that I got screws in the back of the tripod mount and where you charge it, USB-C. Okay, we're going to swipe from the left to the right, and this is going to run through your camera modes. So photo, panorama. So these are like your story modes. This first one's called summer. To get through this menu system, there's a little stack here. You hit that, they have summer, and then you can toggle through the different styles. These are all a little bit different music. The way they transition is different, but you film like, it makes you film like 4 different clips, and it puts it together for you. And just tap to get out of it, and we'll keep swiping to the left. You have time lapse. You have 2 different styles of time lapse. You can just do a regular time lapse where the camera stays still, or you can do a motion time lapse where you set waypoints along the way. And that is probably one of the best things about these style of cameras, is the time lapse, moving time lapse. So you can set it on a tripod and maybe pan it down the beach and do a whole time lapse and let the camera do waypoints. So you can set it up along the way. You can move the gimbal itself, position it up, down, whatever, and it will follow those waypoints. Slow motion, you have different speeds. You have 2 times, 4 times, and it lets you pick your color, image quality, and everything. So this is going to be using pretty much 1080. 2x is probably 60, 180, and 240. That's my guess. All right, this time we're going to swipe down. And these are different modes. So these are how you get to the gimbal modes. And to toggle through this, you just hit, tap through. Then we swipe over. You have super scope, ultra wide, and narrow. I do like Super Scope. It gives you that little wide, like cinematic look, and ultra wide is kind of more of your normal. I wouldn't use narrow. It kind of punches in too much, but it's there if you need it. We keep swiping. We have camera settings, where you can go from, I guess, JPEG and RAW. Metering mode, type of video output, your codec. I haven't played with this too much. It's something to do with the warping effect. All right, that's that from swiping to the top. We'll go back to where we were. All right, so then now we're going to swipe from the bottom up, and that will, if you had an SD card in, that's where you go through your different videos. You can play them back on here. So in photo mode, we're in photo mode now. Back up to erase that before. Photo mode, you have a little indicator here. You can change the look of your photo from natural to sepia, Nora, back to natural again. And then you can go in and change all your settings. All right, let's show you what the app looks like now. All right, it's called the Fimi Play app. You have to go into your Wi-Fi setting. Once you select your Wi-Fi, it's called Palm 2. You are in. So from here, you can adjust the gimbal as needed. So if you have it on a tripod, position somewhere, you can make sure your subject is in frame. All right, so inside the app, let's start from the top, is where we go back to where we were before. Down below is your gimbal settings, so you can go into and really fine-tune your gimbal if you are familiar with that and how it all works. I kind of keep it where it is unless I want to slow it down for how fast you move. Then you adjust your video resolution, your picture image quality, color, video output, etc. Same thing you can do on the camera. Pro mode, SD card format stuff. This button up top right here can flip the camera around and then flip it back. And then you can also fine-tune your movements. Up top here, you can adjust the mic from mute to high, where it gives you the full look, and then half look is low. This is a face detect button up here, so it'll automatically detect your face and track you when it sees it. So it's probably good to leave that on. And this is your warping effect. As you can see from the camera, it shows you how it fixes it. It's a little bit wider, and then it adjusts it to, so it's not that fisheye round look. Your record button, your story mode again, where you can go in and pick your different type of story you want to set up. And if you had an SD card in, you can see your photos. You can download them to your phone. On the right side here is your different camera modes, your photo, slow motion, time lapse. Now with time lapse, it doesn't actually show you the screen, but you can adjust your intervals and duration. But it does allow you to go on the here itself. Like right now, it's set up for me to set waypoints. So you basically adjust your gimbal, hit the plus, adjust it again, hit the plus, till you got like 3 or 4 waypoints, and then hit start, and then you're good to go. Having this connection here is a bonus. So let me just talk real quick about this versus the DJI Pocket. So a couple of things this guy gives you over the DJI system is Wi-Fi connection out of the box, an audio input out of the box on the back. Those are two of the main things that it gives you extra versus the DJI. And we have a lower price tag. This is using a 1.26 CMOS Sony sensor, developed in 2016. All right, so that's it for the app and the camera itself. If you have any questions about that, leave it in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. Next up will be the video footage. So please take a look at that footage. Look at the dark areas, look for graininess, look for things of that nature. I put some GoPro footage in there for comparison. See what to you is acceptable for this style of camera. Once you had a minute to look at the footage, leave a comment below of what you think. I'd be interested. All right, here it comes. Okay, 4K 24 F log, fine, mic is on high, denoise is off. That's about it. And super scope. And it should be tracking my face in a bright sunny day. Tomorrow is going to snow. Tracking. Flip it around here. Gotta be, oh, flip it back around. Gotta be careful where you put your hands on here, because the microphone is one on the side here and one, can't see where I'm pointing, one on the bottom. So you kind of need to pinch it and not cover up those mics. And right now it's on high and denoise is off. I'm going to switch it here to denoise on in 3, 2, 1. Alright, so denoise is now on. Check 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. A little bit of wind action. How does that sound? I'll enhance the video a little bit since we're on F-Log and give it a little better look. Let's switch now to HDR. Alright, HDR is on. No longer on f-stop, we're on natural. Let me see how this looks. Stop shaking so much. Alright, HDR is now off. I have it on bright. Bright, HDR off. Tracking my face. Tracking my... So, GoPro Hero 9, 4K 30 linear mode. Kind of get a feel for the colors and the clarity. As you know, I'm a fan of the GoPro collection, and the GoPro 9 is good. They all have quirks to it. GoPro seems to have a lot of quirks, but they all seem to have quirks. All these cameras have something wrong with them. So, GoPro color should be pretty blue and popping here. But this is just to give you a comparison between the Palm footage and the GoPro. That's all I'm going to give you with the GoPro. You should know what it looks like. It's a GoPro. Okie dokie. How's it do with the transition? Pro, I can see the front screen here also, and I can see where I am. So, just a little walk and talk with these two. Both are obviously going to have different looks. The bright is kind of like the GoPro color, or the closest thing maybe there is. HDR may be a little bit more colorful, but I'm just starting this. This is my first comparison part, so we'll do more later. Maybe I'll let you know. Let's look at the stabilization. I'll flip the screen around here, and we'll do a little walk. And even when a walk, you get a little bumpiness versus even a jog, just the way it moves. And it is a nasty, cold, and cloudy day, so I don't expect great results from either of these two cameras. Still got a little tree follow. A little. Ooh, is that cinematic? Doubt it. All right, on to the next one. K24, fine, HDR off, on bright, definitely, volume is on high. Alright, GoPro has medium sharpness, and Fimi Palm has fine. Just fine. .4K30, super fine, bright. So exact same setup, except I turned HDR on. And it looks more washed out, but we'll see on the big screen. Alright, we're now filming on the GoPro linear mode. So everything should be horizon leveled. Medium sharpness, GoPro color, 4K. 4K30. Microphone is intact. Saramonic mic on high. Let's see what they got the IV at. Alright, this is F-Log. HDR is on. Fine. Wind is blowing. Internal mic. It's freezing out here. Alright, I'm going to enhance it with a LUT in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Now we're enhanced. We're still in that scope. Get some of the sky action. And do a little tree moving. This is that super scope again. the way it looks. It has a cinematic feel to it. Now, where is this? Bags, give it away. So I'm having on my favorite settings that I've come across while playing with this thing for the past week. 4K, 24, HDR off, fine, not super fine. I think super fine gets a little bit too pixelated and too sharp. And then I have it on, I have it auto everything, which you could play with completely. Like right now I'm getting kind of dark, you can tell from the screen, and the background is kind of brighter. So if I spun around, that'd probably look better. And the mic is on high, which I have it on a lav mic. Do you recommend a microphone for this camera of some sort? The audio that comes out of the thing is this. Not okay. It's okay in the pinch if you're just doing like a family video, but if you want it to sound anywhere decent, you need something else to boost it. Even the Saramonic, which I thought was great, was okay. The lav mic and the Rode video mic are the better choices. I also have it on scope, or super scope they call it. It's a wide cinematic look. I do like the look of it. I'm gonna switch here back to just to the wide and you can tell the difference. Hold on. All right, this is called ultra wide. This is like a normal, I guess, setup you would have. And this is narrow. Just in case you want to know, this is the mic on low with the lav mic. Is that any better? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2.7K 60. I'm gonna go ahead and slow it down.
A minute until midnight. I'm just wondering where you at. Just thought I'd call and wish you good night. I left my key under the mat. I don't get anything done, you're stuck on my mind. I keep on missing your touch, missing your vibe. This feeling might go when I say what we had. Won't you come on over? Don't you miss me too? Give it all you got, babe. Give it all you got, baby. I'd rather try than lose you. Give it all you got, baby.